Hello. Testing, testing, one, two, three. How we doing? How are we doing? I am so sorry that we are an hour late. Um, I had to take Moxie to the vet with my dad this morning, so I woke up pretty early. And then I also had a podcast with Sixton and his buddy Jay. So, that took a little bit longer than I thought it would, but it was pretty good. Nice little experience. I'm also not streaming on Twitch and YouTube today, mostly because two reasons. One, we really didn't have too many people come in on for the Twitch one. We did have a few people, which was nice, but I felt like I wasn't interacting with them as much as I could have. We'll see about if I can correct that. Secondly, what is the word? Secondly, my mom was having some internet issues, and hopefully me streaming on just YouTube is enough to remedy that, but who knows? Who knows? But yeah, we are leveling in good old Vajir some more today. Why not, you know? I'm hoping that... I don't know. I don't know if we'll finish Vajir today. That's actually a good question. I don't think we will. But... I hope at the very least we finish the Abyssal Depths, or whatever this is called. Oh, this is called Abyssal Depths. No, Shimmering Expanse. Shimmering Expanse. The Depths are the next zone. I don't know about you guys, but whenever, like, you do something... Do you ever just, like, remember, like, especially, like, when you're questing in WoW, like, you go back to do an old zone like this, and your brain just instantly goes back to the time that you did it the first time? Because, like, my brain, right now, is just like, oh, man, I remember what I used to watch on YouTube when I did Kata. Especially Bajir leveling, because, like, right now, I'm remembering, watching Team 4 Star and all the other stuff. And, like, all the music that I used to listen to, because right now I want to do that. It's crazy. Let's see. I'm supposed to kill eels? Is this a spike-toothed eel? It is. Alright. Somebody really hated eels during Kata. I will say one of the things I've also noticed about Cataclysm is it still takes some time to kill stuff. Like, it doesn't take super long, but I have noticed how long it takes to kill things, comparatively to retail. I do need to get these little snail boys. I still actually really like Ban's Cataclysm drip, like, to this day, because here's the thing that's kind of interesting about Banner X Cata gear that I'm currently wearing. I can't actually wear it in retail anymore. And it's not because one of the items isn't available anymore, it's the gloves, but, you actually can't wear the shoulder pads and gloves as a hunter? Oh my god. Because they made them plate. So... that's why you can't really use those anymore. Cockroach. I love the Vajir music. This zone, I know people don't like it, but... What is your least favorite known artifact weapon? My least favorite? Like a known one? Like, ones that we actually... knew beforehand? This might be crazy. Like, I mean, I like that we can wield the Doomhammer, obviously. But... I just don't like the fact that it got taken away from Thrall, so I have to say probably the Doomhammer. If not that, maybe the Scepter of Sargeras. And the reason why I don't like the Scepter of Sargeras is because, with how powerful it is, it realistically should probably be, like, way stronger than the way we see it in the game. So it's either between the Doomhammer or, the Scepter, as far as known artifact weapons go. I don't even know what, like non-known ones that I would list, you know? Like, the eels turn into pearls when they die? That's weird. I'm guessing it's because they didn't have a death animation, so they're just like, just make them turn into pearls, I guess. Well, this guy didn't turn into a pearl. Maybe it only sometimes turns into a pearl? That makes sense. Okay, so I guess they do have a death animation. Alright. Blink. I'm walking on sunshine. Well, I'm feeling good. Every time I do the Vajir zone, I always want to do like a machinima or an episode in it. But like, that's what I hate about machinima, because like I have so many ideas for machinima, but like machinima takes months to make, and it's like that's the problem. It's like I don't have time to do machinimas as much as I used to. Like, and it's mainly because I'm a perfectionist. It's not because like I could probably do like a short frame machinima, but like I mainly have to like sit back and go, is this worth it? Does this make any sense to do? Because like most of the machinimas I want to do, like I'm like, they need to be relevant. How many eels do I need? Still need eels, okay. Ugh. Brub, 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 brub. If they went the fun route of add the Director to Legion remix, should they give them an artifact weapon? I think they should give them an artifact weapon. I think that their artifact weapon should be the Dragon Soul, since they're already time traveling a bunch. Like, you might as well just let them have some time travel fun. Alright, let's see. More eels. We need 2 more eels. There's 1. We're not having 2 pets, I'll be honest with you. I'm so used to having 2 pets. Alright, and we need to dispose the bodies. Okay, I think I remember this quest. Like, you, like, take... Yeah, you take this guy. And then... I think you, like, drop him... over here? I think? I think you drop him over here, actually. Yeah. You drop him in the red. I remember you drop him in the red. Easy peasy. That's a world boss. Also, as we were discussing yesterday, oh, excuse me, I was trying to look up the Naga model in Vajir. Nope, did I lose him? The heck? But I do think it is a texture thing, because like I was trying to find the Naga model from Cataclysm, and I couldn't find it, but I could find the texture for it, but I couldn't apply the texture in the model. Very weird. Okay, there's two. There's three! Woohoo! And then let's go do the Great Beano. You think his friends call him Sam? I'd call him either Sam or Beano, or the Great Beano. Just saw a video that asked a question I never thought of. Stormwind has sewage canals under the city. Dwarves got a literal sewage system. What is Orgrimmar doing with its waste? I think Orgrimmar mostly uses its river, if I'm not mistaken, which is why it's so polluted. I always really like how the goblins and the worgen are always like throughout Cataclysm. Like they were like, yeah, these are a new playable race. Let's add them to every zone. There's a lot of goblin shamans, surprisingly. Hello, that kind of orc. I'm sorry that we did things an hour later. I know how yesterday we were talking about how you really wanted me to do things an hour earlier. And here I am doing things pretty late. Okay, we need to do it over by the shell. Oh, I remember what this quest is. So you fill it up with the shell. And one of these crabs have the shell, I think. Or not the shell, but one of the things. Daddy Khono-chan, god damn it. Yeah, it'd be like that sometimes. Fair, fair. Wonder why they didn't make the Nightborn and Void Elves Demon Hunters? Probably just would have been a lot of work, I guess. I don't know. For lore reasons, probably simply they, you know, what's the point? The Legion's defeated. I think there's just other races they'd probably do before Void Elves and Nightborn. I mean, Nightborn makes sense to do Demon Hunters, I'll be honest with you, but like, Void Elves, it's kind of like, well, they're Void Elves. Isn't like adding Fel plus Void, like, redundant? I guess there's Lightforged Warlocks, but... Ugh, yawning, goodness. Yeah, I did not get a lot of sleep. I had to wake up stupid early to, visit the vet with Moxie. I probably could have taken a nap today. I probably could have taken off, but, you know. I wanted to stream, and we're gonna stream for like 3 hours today. We're not gonna stream for very long. I think 8 o'clock is a good time to end my streams currently. Oh my goodness. Ban! Where is our epic dragon butt kicking? Our epic dragon butt kicking. I mean, there's no current, Deathwing, sadly, to kick in Vajir. but we can try in the Twilight Highlands for sure. Yeah, that's the main reason they probably didn't make sense lore-wise, Jacob. That's probably I mean, that's the main reason, but also just, like, they probably, like, it's a lot of work to make a new, Demon Hunter class race combo at this point. But, you know, maybe we'll get it someday. How much do we need to fill the balloon? Isn't it like 10 times? Might be 15. I don't remember. There we go. Then the air valve, I'm pretty sure, is one of these crabs have it. Nelth from the Discord. I figured, I mean, you said something very similar in the Discord the other day. I honestly feel like, Deathwing probably could have had, a lot more to do in his own expansion of Cataclysm. We need to kill these crabs anyways. The goat himself. I don't even need to fill up this air balloon anymore. I made myself coffee so I wouldn't be tired, and I'm still tired. I'm right? Like, I'm pretty sure Sabino's air valve is from the crabs? It drops from the crabs, right? Pretty sure it does. We need to kill the crabs anyways, so... I should probably read the quest line, but... Read the quest. One of their... I bet one of the crabs snatched up pinchy, greedy little things. Okay. Okay, those guys don't give loot. Which is pretty rude, all things considered. But yeah, I think today's goal is we'll stream as long as possible, but I mean, it'll probably end at around 8, probably. Which is like 3 hours from now anyways. So, you know, that we can get a lot done in 3 hours. But we'll try to get this zone done. Not Vajir itself, but like the piece of Vajir that we're currently doing. Fortunately, we're not getting the dang valve. Which is very rude. Boy. At least we're getting experience points, I guess. I was hoping it was going to be Dragon Soul streaming, but yeah, I feel you in getting up stupid a little early. I have to be up at 1 a.m. to get prep done. I had to get up at 7 a.m., or rather it was 6 a.m. for Moxie's vet visit. But as far as Dragon Soul goes, yeah, we're not close to that. One, we need to get up 4 levels, and 2, we don't have the item level. Once we get enough of the item level, though, I'll try. I kind of actually hope that they just let me enter and do whatever. You should get toy plates that put a exclamation part on NPC nameplates for quests. Toy plates. Let me I can get that. Hmm. Let me get that real quick. Bum bum bum. Cause I'll forget. I will definitely forget about it. Dang it. Why dang it? Is it because I yawned? Like I'm not yawning at you guys. I'm yawning at the fact that I didn't get any hours of sleep. Not intentional too. I actually went to bed early so I could get more sleep, but I'll be honest with you, I barely got I am a very fickle person. I need to like have the same sleep schedule or else I won't fall asleep right away. So like going to bed early doesn't really help much. At least for my sake. I remember when this is like off topic because these pants reminded me. But back in Cataclysm, I actually had Bannerak have a fancy outfit he would wear. Makes no sense for him to wear it now, but back then I was just like, yeah, let me wear a fancy little outfit for good old Ban. I use it for a lot of retail and it helps a lot with quests. And I mean, it might help for Classic? I'm not sure. I feel like the Cataclysm was the worst time for the Burning Legion. Why the Burning Legion? Is it because the Burning Legion wasn't relevant at all in Cata? Or is it because of the Well of Eternity, which is like the only thing they had really representation in? I do think it's fascinating that like in Cataclysm and then MOP, it had been such a long time since the Burning Legion and Burning Crusade were relevant, but they gave nods to the fact that the Burning Legion was coming. And I know that Warlords of Draenor was kind of like the you know, the precursor to Legion and like the Legion are coming, you know? But it's just I think it's always so fascinating like how like WoW had this like mindset of like we should wrap up the Legion storyline at some point. Bajir, I thought she was in Maldraxxus. Oh, that's pretty bad. So far, I'm feeling pretty crabby because this quest line is not dropping the valve at all. There should be a Cata edition for the nameplate add-on. I normally don't like nameplates, but I mean, we'll see. Right, I still need the air valve. I was gonna get, let's see. Cataclysm Classic, and then you said it's called KUI plates. Oh. Let me try UI plates. Face it out. UI plates. Dialogue UI, Dark Mode, Dragonflight UI Classic. Uber UI Classic. Original Cataclysm UI. Damn, still under the water? Well, in fairness, Thomshire, we didn't get very far. And, we only got to the second zone of Vajir, and we ended it there. It's probably likely that I'm not gonna finish Vajir at all today, because I'm planning on ending around 8. But we'll try our best. Also, I hear you more on one ear than the other. That's probably because the microphone isn't that close. I can move it, though. Give me a second. Alright, how's that sound, Thomshire? Do I sound better? I, moved the microphone a little bit closer. And I am speaking into it a little bit better, too. Let me know if that helps, or if it sounds better. But it was a little bit further away than normal. Also, I'm done. Why am I farming these crabs? You know what, I was thinking, my brain was kind of like, you know... Let's see what you guys are saying. Imagine Wars Draenor had Delve, Mythic Plus, and Raid. That would probably have been amazing as hell if it had current ways to play the game. Probably. I mean, that gives during Worlds of Draenor, so it would definitely. Alright, oh, sorry, the microphone cut out there, everybody. That's probably why it sounded awful for a second there. I don't hear what you're saying. Yeah, it's because the program that I use to make myself sound better, borked. I wonder what would happen to the aspects and, Thrall if Deathwing had won. Well, fortunately for you, there's a dungeon called End Time, and that tells you what happened. Now it works, yeah, I know. That's the unfortunate reality of my program. Alright, a new chess piece, let's go. Ew. Ew, what is that? Oh, it's because Ban has a shirt on. I was wondering why Ban's shirt, why Ban had this weird white outline. Well, now we know why. Oh, I thought I put it away. Get in there. There. Now Ban is shirtless. Now Mike is distorted? It's distorted still? Or is it better? It still sounds weird, the mic, I mean, like your voice is a robot. Alright, hold on, give me a second here. Do I sound like hell still, or do I sound better? Let me know. Thank you guys for letting me know. This is the unfortunate, problem with using my program. It makes me sound really good, but, when it stops working, it makes me sound way worse. So, that is a problem. Just let me know if it still sounds awful. Now it's clear, okay. I need to be careful when moving my knee, because when I move my knee, it hits the microphone wire, and when it hits the microphone wire, it does not like it. Where can I use it? Place near Sands Silver Tide Trench. I use it here. There we go. You sound like a fell orc for a moment, but now it's fixed. That's good. Now it's better. Thank you guys, yeah. I hate when it does that. Also, I'm glad that Ban walking on water, or underwater, made you happy. It is a very funny and silly animation. Ban, eat a Snickers better. Eat a Snickers, why? It'll make you not sound like a fell orc. Bum-bum-ba-dum-bum-ba-dum. Alright. We're almost done with these quests, at least. Alright. I'm gonna equip my Ogrimmar tabard so at least it covers up my gross looking, oh. I'm so used to dragon riding, because I was playing retail before playing classic, that I was hitting the 3 button. Dragon riding is definitely, a plus for WoW, but goddamn. I love how colorful Vajir is underwater. Like, I love all the fishes and, like, everything. Like, it feels so alive, like Vajir. The wildlife, at least. Hey, new belt. Let's go! I really just need boots, then. Nice. We might, yeah, well, now that I think about it, I'll probably be able to gear up Banneret really quickly with the end time dungeons. Or the, you know, the final 3 dungeons they added in the zone. Maybe. Let's see. I can do a random Cataclysm dungeon. Did they ever do the rune protocol thing for Kata? I'm curious if they did, because I know they did it for Wrath, which is interesting. Probably obvious, but you're getting ready for MP Classic with this. Yes. I'm excited for it since I've never played it before. Remix didn't count. I've played MOP Classic before. It's my favorite expansion. So, yeah, that's the reason why I am playing Cataclysm. I probably wouldn't have played Cataclysm if they weren't doing MOP. Realistically speaking. I think that if they stopped doing the classic expansions at Wrath, I probably would have never touched the classic expansions ever, but they're doing MOP, and probably WoD, I imagine, and if they do, I'll give them both a shot, although I don't really see the point in Worlds of Draenor. Worlds of Draenor, the only reason why I would do Worlds of Draenor personally is if you add what was missing. Alright. Then we put this down. Since Syl, you're in the chat, by the way, I do think that it is a texture thing, by the way, for the Naga. So this nice looking high definition texture that is on this Naga model, I went to go in WoW Model Viewer to look for this version of the Naga. It's nowhere in sight, but there is an option to add, like, really good textures on the model. So I'm pretty sure you were right that it is a texture update. So that's pretty neat. I can't believe that both factions are on the Villains Wiki, but Horde, I believe, but Alliance how, even though one of the crimes is pollution. I mean, the Alliance had also Blackmoor and Dalen and Arthas and... yeah, the Alliance has its moments of villainy, let's be fair. Not all white knights and doing good. There's some evil stuff going on there. Yeah, they did. It's called Elemental Rune Protocol. The HD texture pack for Classic is something they really need to bring to retail. I agree, but what we're talking about with the Naga specifically, Booger, is this is actually something from Cataclysm exclusively. Well, not exclusively. Like, this was in retail for a time, before they updated the Naga models in Legion. But this was for the longest time, this was our Naga model in Classic. Like Cataclysm, Classic, MOP, Worlds of Draenor, and then Legion, when Legion came out, they finally updated this bad boy. But this is entirely a texture update that they added in Cataclysm. But, like, it's not like a texture update that you're thinking of. Oh, and don't forget Garithos. Yeah, Garithos is also a nut job. Garithos might be the worst of the lot, at least, like, Dalen had his reasons. Well, Blackmore's pretty bad. I'm gonna give it to Blackmore. I think Blackmore is worse than Garithos, because Garithos, while bad, he did not do what he did to both humanity and the orcs. He kind of just did it to the Blood Elves. He's kind of a bad boy. I can't wait till I get actual male boots. This will be nice. But yeah, they should do the texture update that you're talking about, Booger. Bogger. Yeah, Blackmore is bad as hell. Yeah, he really is. And Van Cleef? I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna be honest real quick. Van Cleef did realistically, I mean, he did some bad stuff, but like I'm not gonna pull the Garrosh card where you did nothing wrong, but like he was kind of justified a little bit. Now, I do think he targeted the wrong people, but at the same time, he really didn't know who to target, so... We need 2 more Nagas for that, and then we just throw down. Reasoning's justified, action's probably not so much, yeah. But like, would I call Van Cleef a villain? I don't know if I would. Anti-hero, maybe? At least Vanessa's an anti-hero. We'll go that far, at least. Van Cleef, probably a villain, but, like, he's not the worst of the bunch compared to the likes of Blackmore, Dalen, and Garithos. Yeah. He also technically left the Alliance, too, so does he really count as an Alliance villain? Guess you could. Nah. Not if we're only counting if you're in the Alliance when you do the bad thing. He basically left the Alliance and then did the bad thing. Especially since the Defias were targeting innocent people. Yeah, that's true. Right, I get a new helm. Cool. Is it bad every time like I get a new piece of gear I want to immediately go back to Orgrimmar and transmog it? I should probably only do that when I finish a zone, yeah. As much as I, you know, want to always look good when I'm playing Ban. Alright, let's kill this guy. And then he's dead. Nice. Ooh. Gonna get some gloves. Nice. Finally replacing some of our Wrath of Lich King gear. Nice, nice, nice. When I did this back in the day, I had Icecrown Citadel gear from Heroic, and I did not replace my gear, I think until Deep Home. Let's see, helm. Alright. Here's what we're gonna do about the helm, alright? I hope that they still have this. See, if you go to the interface... Can you still hide your... Did they get rid of that with the transmog system? Oh man, that was such a nice way to hide your helm and your cloak. I think they actually did keep the Did they really keep the... I guess they got rid of it. Ah, well. I was gonna hide Ban's helm and get away with that. Oh well. Vengeful Stalk helm also kinda... yeah, I guess he did do some evil stuff while still a part of the Night Elves and a part of the Alliance. Now, you can't hide the helm and cape on options, but you can hide pretty much every piece of gear now. Yeah, it was just really handy when, like, I got a gross-ass helm like this one, and I kinda just, you know, hide it. I mean, there are worse helms, so... we'll just have to transmog it later. Benedictus? Yeah, I guess I could see Benedictus as an Alliance villain. But yeah, I'm actually excited to go back to MoP. I know that we just did it with MoP Remix, but this will be with MoP gameplay, which means I'll have Stampede again, which I'm excited to have. And I'll be able to do the Rathian questline. Give me those gloves. Let me sell some junk. What I need is to sell junk. Right. I think that's everything. Oh. This binds unequipped. I'm not gonna sell that. I'm gonna auction that. Is this an auction thing? Yes. Okay. Because you never know what you might get when you auction something. Everfrost chip. Huh. I never did the Everfrost thing. Huh. Who could have thunk? He's a pretty bad dude, kind of underrated. Benedictus is also the Twilight Father, so... Benedictus acted all nice and holy, but instead he was, this crazy void-corrupted fanatic. If I remember correctly, he was originally... he really did believe in the light once upon a time, but as time went on, kind of realized it was, corrupted in itself. I forget. I remember, like, one of his lines is, I looked in the dragon's eye and I despaired or something. So, like, the moment that he gazed on Deathwing, he basically realized that his religion and his light wouldn't save him. I'm glad that Verisa is not to fall to madness like her sisters. We'll see. Also, Sylvanas never really fell to madness. Valeria kinda did. I always like seeing, like, the new, like, I don't know, there's just something I like about looking at the Naga models and going, yeah, those are some new textures. You know, I had an idea that you could totally use for, like, a machinima, where you use this location as, like, the inside of, like, the body, and it's like one of those, like, you know, like, they do this a lot in cartoons, where it's like, there's, like, a disease or something, like, it's infected the body, and, like, they shrink themselves down to, like, fix it. That could be a fun little, like, comedy machinima thingy-majig. I don't know if I would actually do it myself, but it would be amusing. Alright, I can get some boots. No. I could get some pants or a cape. This gives me intellect, so I want the cape. Okay. Barisa needs some screen time, to be honest. True. Sylvanas fell to sadness, but then to madness, and then to badness. That's not inaccurate, really. Irisa needs some screen time, to be honest. Yeah, I think that she'll get it in Midnight, though. God, I love Vajir. This is also kind of like, this is clever. This is so clever, because you go on inside of, this old one, right? This ancient creature, but you're no longer swimming. You're now like on the ground in her. So it kind of gives players a chance to take a break from swimming in the zone. I think that's really smart, and I'm really glad they did that. During the Legion of Battle for S BFA, I obeyed every command of the Dark Lady like a goodest boy. Don't do that. You should have rebelled. You should have rebelled with Sarfang. I'm very disappointed in you. You're not a good boy. You're a bad boy. You are forever damned. You are forever viewed in the eyes of the Horde as a bad dude. Thank you. It's rare to find people that actually enjoy going around Vajir. It's so atmospheric and traveling isn't as annoying as people make it out to be. Okay, I will be very honest with you. Vajir is like my favorite Cataclysm zone. It's so unique and so different. I mean, I think it's because I play a hunter, which is the main reason why I'm probably like not as against it. Like whenever I've played my warrior or rogue or shaman, I don't like Vajir as much. But when I play a range character, like a hunter or like a mage, you know, anything range I think has a better time in Vajir. But also, like, that's not really the point. If you love a zone, it should be for its story, its atmosphere, and its music, not its gameplay. I don't know. I guess it depends. Like, I'm not gonna fault you if you like something for gameplay reasons, obviously. But, like, the reason why you like Vajir should not be for, its underwater mechanics. Because in my opinion, WoW's underwater mechanics have always kind of been a little bit bad. I belong in hell alongside Sylvanas. Is your warrior a cousin of Bannerek? No, 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 no. My warrior is the son of Bannerek. Hellarok is Bannerek's son. There actually was a cousin of Bannerek. His name was Grimosh. Grimosh was Bannerek's, uncle's son. And he died against the Scourge during the Third War. And he was raised as a Death Knight later on. And then he died again. I actually don't really have the lore remembrance on how he died. I just remember I killed off the character because I didn't really have anything more for him after Wrath. But yeah, Grimosh was Bannerek's cousin. And yes, it was kind of named after Garrosh, and then I kind of just combined it with the word Grim. So. You are a Hunter main, right? What is your favorite ult? My favorite ult? That's a good question. Because I don't really think about my ults that much, because I play Ban so much. My favorite character to play when I'm not playing Bannerek. I mean, I like Ban's grandson Thorarok, which is a Maghar shaman, but I also like Batuk, my High Mountain Tauren druid. I think if I had to choose like my favorite ult to play besides Ban, I'm not really sure, but I'm gonna go with Thorarok for now. I don't know, I just don't play ults enough to really, like, say, like, yeah, this is my favorite ult. Because I don't think I really have a favorite ult, if I'm being honest. Honestly, a shame that they perfected Flesh Dungeon design here, so Crucible of Storms and Nyalotha became such a downgrade. Yeah, this is kind of better than Nyalotha, and this easily could have been a dungeon or a raid, if I'm being honest. Like, if we had the Abyssal Maw raid, this should have been, like, a perfect, like, entrance into the raid. And, like, you have to, like, stop them from corrupting Nespara fully or something. And then you leave the raid to go fight in the Abyssal Maw against, like, Ajara's Battle Maiden. Yeah, that'd be cool. Oh wow, that's how the Alliance talks with Warriors? What does that mean? I always wondered, since I always play humans. See, the thing is, I don't just play orcs. I play orcs, I play dwarves, I play Draenei, I play Night Elves, I play every race in the game. The only race in WoW I really don't play are humans. That's actually a lie. I don't play Volpera. I don't really like Volpera that much. I don't really play Blood Elves either. Like, I have Blood Elves that I actually do play. My main is a Paladin. Favorite ults are Demon Hunter, Survival, when Survival doesn't suck D like it does at the moment in Season 2. Honestly, I've seen and held so many Void RP campaign finales in La Harak because that place is just so perfect. See, I was talking about how this would be a great place for one of those little mini adventures where you you shrink yourself down and to enter the human body to fix them because they have, like, something corrupting them inside. I think that could be a fun little comedic machinima. Like, Box or Frank or Banneret or someone eats something they shouldn't and it corrupts their body, and see, that could be a fun little thing for Ban and Frank, or Ban and Box to do to save Frank or something. I don't know. It's something I can discuss with my friends if they ever want to take this plot idea. I don't know if I'll ever do it because I don't do comedy machinimas anymore. I mean, it could be a serious machinima, but, like, with comedic elements. I don't know. It's just something that is amusing to me. We need to kill some enchantresses and save 2 miners. I just keep thinking of the Transformers 1 meme where it's the one he's not a Decepticon, but it's Darkwing and he goes, "Miners." I just think it's funny. There's the Magic School Grimrail. Pretty much. I meant the NPC dialogue that pops up in chat window. I glimpsed at some of the Alliance characters speaking there and saw gibberish. Oh. Okay, that's what you were talking about. Yeah. That makes sense. Cheers, big ears. Why do you hate my big ears? You're making me feel very self-conscious about my ears, Elrin. It's like, I don't make fun of you for your giant-ass ears, you know? Or your ridiculous Yu-Gi-Oh hair. But yeah, I am a Vajir enjoyer, as we have talked on. Otherwise, I would probably be in Mount Hyjal, right? I like Mount Hyjal though. Mount Hyjal is a very good Cataclysm zone. I was so happy when they announced that Hyjal was a zone for Cataclysm. Wasn't crazy about Deep Home, if I'm being honest. Deep Home kind of was like that start to what War Within is kind of solidified as, you know, an underground zone. We need to find one more miner. Yes, you do. You always do that. Well, I'll do it more then. I'm gonna change my Tauren Paladin to Zandalari. I've been lately getting annoyed by the Tauren size that I don't see the head ever. Zandalari model is very good looking, and prelates are cool. Prelates are cool. Hyjal is so cool. Yeah, I like Hyjal. There's a lot of cool dialogue being said right now, but yeah, I think that if I was to rate all of the Cataclysm zones, so give me a second here. All right. So, number 1 is Vajir. Number 2 is Hyjal. 3 is Twilight Highlands. 4 is Deep Home. And my least favorite Cataclysm zone is Uldum. Now, if Uldum included the stuff that was in the alpha, like all the stuff in the alpha, it might be better than Twilight Highlands, if I'm being honest. But because it just was in the Indiana Jones, the movie zone, yeah, it's my least favorite. It's amazing that Orgrimmar is, like, under the shadow of Hyjal with the current draw distance. It's really, like, I do like that, too. That is, like, a nice little detail, and, like, they further emphasize that with the Rage of the Firelands trailer. I really like that trailer. Like, I love, like, how it, like, Ragnaros shows Thrall what he is going to do. And it, like, it answers, like, you know, Thrall's troubles and woes in a way. And, in doing so, it also shows him what he will lose if he fails. Really nice. Smasher pass Elemental Lords. Okay. Therazane. Pass. Sorry. Ragnaros. Pass, because I don't want to be set on fire. Neptulon. Smash. Alakir. Pass. Thunderon. Smash. Smolderon. Hard pass. That guy's a nobody. Then what about the Molten Front? What about the Molten Front? I wish, like, Cataclysm, I wish I could like Cata Hyjal, but it suffers from the same issue that every other Night Elf zone, where they just cover half of it in fire or corruption or something. That is true, they do that a lot. They really did a number on this poor sea creature. I mean, it's probably far worse for, the guy over here. I always forget his name. Right. Give me that cape. What does the cape look like? Wait. Huh? How come my cape is not shown at all? What the fudge? Did it somehow carry over that I hid my cape? And now it's just permanently hidden forever? That can't be it. You skipped Therazane? No, I didn't. Therazane was the first one I talked about. I said I said Therazane is a pass. The other one is dead, at least it's not suffering anymore. It dies later on, but it is alive in the zone, so. Okay, we need to get a Deep Seeker crab. We need to get some crabs, guys. You guys want to help me get some crab? Smasher oh, I already read that. That was Thamshire. You have the hide cloak thing ticked in the interface menu. I thought that they got rid of that, though. Interface. Oh! So you can tick that. I asked earlier if they still had that. They do. Cool. I was like, didn't they keep that all the way until, like, Legion? I'm pretty sure? Or Worlds of Draenor? I must have missed it, my bad. It's all good, bugger. How do we say your name, by the way? I've been calling it Bog or Bag. Is it Booger? Because it sounds like Booger. I missed that toggle? Yeah, it was until Legion. I was so annoyed that when they removed it. It's a very handy thing to use for, when you're on the go and you don't have an expedition yak. Because, like, if I'm doing this, right, and, like, I'm probably not gonna transmog until we finish the zone, but, you know, I can't just go back to Orgrimmar every time I want to transmog one piece of gear, because I'm gonna replace it pretty quickly. Bog ore. So, like, a bag, bog, like bog, and then ore. Or then ur. Ur. Bog ur. I hope I'm saying that right. Bog ore. Now let's speak to this. I wish she was voice acted, not gonna lie. I wish that is one thing that we gotta give credit for in MOP and Mists of Pandaria and Worlds of Draenor is really when voice acting in zones was more current. Like, Cataclysm kinda got it started for its, like, far more important quest lines, like the Thrall one. I feel like Mists of Pandaria really was that jump in quality. At least that's my opinion. Also, again, I really don't know if we brought this up to you, Zelrin, because you were not here, but I was talking about how this area would be a perfect location for, like, a Magic School Bus styled machinima, where it's like someone like Frank or Box gets sick, and then Ban and Box or Ban and Frank have to fix him by shrinking themselves down and going inside and helping them out. This is like a perfect area to do that type of thing. Nazgrim! Ow. Could also use Encourage. Encourage looks old and gross. I don't think Encourage is a good place to use this for. Just because of how old it is. It's really old. At least it's not Wrath with its scheduled, repeated voice acted Tyrion yelling. Oh yeah. Put your faith in the light and all is possible. Like, gotta attack the Apsis. But I liked my scheduled Tyrion yelling. Fair. What do you have against the Karaji? I have a thing against Cthulhu and the Karaji. The Karaji are boring and don't do anything. Just like Cthulhu. Also, their designs are old and gross. Sorry. If you are a Cthulhu fan, I'm sorry. I don't think I'm a Cthulhu fan. It is remarkable on how, the small little texture update that they gave the Naga in Cataclysm was enough for me to believe for the longest time that they had a new model in Cata, even though all it was a texture res update. Like, that's kind of impressive. In its own way. It's obviously, like, Legion was miles better, like, its new model, but it is interesting. Speaking of Nazgrim, no shit, missed opportunity to have his Alliance counterpart, Taylor, also be a Death Knight Horseman too. I'll be honest with you, I think having Admiral Taylor as a Death Knight, as one of the 4 Horsemen, would have been better than Trollbane. I don't understand who Trollbane is for. Like, I think that the Trollbane 4 Horsemen is like a nothing burger character to have compared to Admiral Taylor. At least with Admiral Taylor, they're fans of him, and they would have been like, yo, they brought back Admiral Taylor, he's back. And like, yeah, you'd have to give a lore explanation of like them traveling to alternate Draenor to collect the body, but like, you could have easily just done an ass pull and we're just like, oh no, his body wasn't buried on Draenor, it was buried on Azeroth. Which, be honest with you, that would have made more sense. It would be the exact same Death Knight plate wearing human. Yeah, but at least there's more fanfare behind Taylor. Like, who is getting excited over the Trollbane Death Knight? I'll be honest, I'm curious, and who really was like, yeah. Nazgrim is a good anti-hero? Nazgrim's not an anti-hero. He's not. He's not even a villain. He's kind of a tragic character, really. I wouldn't even call him, like... I don't even know what I would call Nazgrim. He's not a villain, but he's not an anti-hero either. You know? Oh, what a lovely day to chill out and do some Archer Tournament dailies. King Varian, Lady Jaina, welcome to the tournament. See, I like that, though. I like that moment still. I really wish they did more of that, if I'm being honest. I especially like the Thrall, Garrosh, and Tyrion one, because it's a nice little, like, after chapter to the Old War trailer. I don't know, it adds to the world. I want them to do that more. Nazgrim's just a dude. Nazgrim's a chill dude. I like Nazgrim. Nazgrim was definitely the correct choice. I remember, so, it's very interesting. So, during development for Legion, the 4 Horsemen went through so many different people. The first idea was to bring back the original 4 Horsemen. So you had the original 4 Horsemen as the Death Knights, right? Then they scrapped it and were like, no, let's make a new 4 Horsemen. And originally it was going to be Whitemane, Trollbane, Tyrion, and I think Darien was still slated as one of the choices. I could be wrong, though. I think he also was not a part of it. But Tyrion was definitely supposed to be a 4 Horseman, but then they were like, we can't get the voice actor to come back. So they're like, okay, just have Darien be the new member. But I'm pretty sure Nazgrim was a very late choice, and I am so happy they did it, because imagine, like, you're playing the Horde, and all you're doing is reviving dead humans. Like, that would have been so boring. But having Nazgrim a part of it, I love it. Nazgrim as one of the 4 Horsemen is so cool. It's a nice moment. It's annoying to hear every hour. That's true. You know what? If they space it out, or like they have it triggered through a quest, or like it's a stay a while and listen, which they didn't do back then, um, that would have been better. I mean, if Danath died, I guess I would have been cool to see him as a Death Knight, but they went with Nazgrim, so it would have been more sense to have his rival be there too. Exactly. That's how I feel. 4 horsemen are just a criminal, 3 humans, and an orc. Is the criminal Whitemane? Because, like, I don't know, I like Whitemane as a... So, like, the 4 horsemen in Legion are fascinating, because I do think that Nazgrim was the right choice. I think Darien was the right choice. I think the only one I really don't like is Trollbane. I don't care for Trollbane at all. Like, they probably could have picked somebody else. I know the popular one that a lot of people in the community want is Zul'jin. That would have definitely been cool. It would have been cooler, really. Criminal as in, it's a bad lineup. There's no variety. I mean, the variety is Nazgrim for sure, you know? I think that's the problem. Like, you probably... I think that what I would have had is... I would have had Darien not even be a part of the 4 Horsemen. And that, but he still would have been, like, the leader of the Ebon Blade. So, like, in a sense, he's leader of the 4 Horsemen regardless. But he's not a member of the 4 Horsemen. So I would have had Nazgrim, Zul'jin, Whitemane. Yeah, I'm keeping Whitemane. I think that she's a cool addition. Who would be the last one I would include? That's a good question. It would not be the same lineup that we have for Ironwrath, by the way, Thomshire. I'm just saying that right now. It would not be another human. I'd probably pick another choice. Who would be a good pick, though? Maybe the one Tauren? But that's way too many Horde characters. It needs to be evened out. Maybe, Staghelm? I don't know. I don't know who I'd pick for the 4th option. That's tough. Yeah, that's basically what we're doing. Darien is the Death Lord. Yeah. Being blunt, as cool as Nazgrim and the Whitemane are returning are, the 4 Horsemen story stinks when you consider that their presence sidelined every other existing Death Knight. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna be honest with you so hard. I'm so sorry about this, because I know there are people who really like the other Death Knight characters, but I really don't care for them. You have, like, what, Croc Scourgebane? You have Koltira, you have Thessarian. I don't know, those guys are okay, but in my opinion, Koltira and Thessarian, I know people are gonna hate this, but I did not care for them until Cataclysm. I thought that they were way more interesting when they were when they were Alliance and Horde generals. I thought they were way cooler when they were like, hey, let's go join our factions. I thought they were way cooler outside of the Ebon Blade than in the Ebon Blade. And that's my opinion. I could be, you know, I'm sure you might disagree with me, but I think that the 4 Horsemen are way more interesting than the Death Knight characters we have. I don't even remember any of the other Death Knight characters. And I'm sorry. I've been saying Staghelm for ages, it'd be funny as hell, yeah. Well, it's just kind of interesting when you have, like, dubious characters who were kind of, like, aggressive or hostile be forced to kind of, like, work with the heroes and work with our allies in a way, kind of like a King Yimmeron situation. Darien is always so hostile feeling, except if you are a Death Knight. I always wondered if Croc Scourgebane background, he was this random character. I don't know, Croc Scourgebane is just like, he exists? But like, you compare him to Nazgrim, I'm like, hell yeah, it's Nazgrim. Like, the only other character that I think would be interesting, or as interesting as Nazgrim, is Dranosh. But Dranosh died. Like, Dranosh kind of just is the embodiment of a character who was created and then died. Twice. Whilst Croc Scourgebane is just like, he exists and that's it. He doesn't really add anything like Nazgrim does, you know? That people don't care for other Death Knights is the problem, in my opinion. They got brief showings in Wrath and then vanished. Legion was a chance to flesh them out more, but all they got was pushed aside for the Horsemen. I don't know. You know, like, do you flesh them out? Or do you keep them going? Or keep the Horsemen going? I think the Horsemen was the way to go, in my opinion. I got Wilfred Fizzlebane as the Four Horsemen. Ew. That guy's a joke character, though. I would have felt the same way like you do with the Thessarian, but then I read the manga, and now I like him a lot. The manga just doesn't really do anything for me, you know? I don't know. Human characters are really hard to sell me on. Like, I like Anduin and Varian and Tyrion and Jaina, but, like, I never really cared about Thessarian and Kultira in the way that some people did, you know? Like, they're cool characters, they're fine, but I think the Four Horsemen, except for Trollbane, are far more fascinating than the Death Knights that we have. Like, you bring up, like, oh, well, you could make Croc Scourgebane a bigger character than he was. But I don't know, it's just like, you compare him to Nazgrim, and, like, Croc Scourgebane, like, alone will never live up to the same hype that Nazgrim does. Like, if you, dropped, like, an idea to me, like, let's say, like, I'm questing with Croc Scourgebane as we do something in Legion, and you as a person, you're just talking to me, they're like, wouldn't it be cool if General Nazgrim was brought back as a Death Knight? I would instantly go, yeah, he's so much cooler than Croc Scourgebane. Like, I don't think anything you could do would have made Croc Scourgebane more interesting than Nazgrim. Dranosh, on the other hand, would probably be a good rival. Like, I think that would definitely be like, ooh, what if they brought back Dranosh? But you would then have to tackle the tough story of literally pissing off Saurfang, and it would definitely come to the conclusion of, okay, how come Saurfang and the Horde literally don't go war with the Horde with the Ebon Blade over reviving Dranosh? Like, reviving Nazgrim could have turned some heads, but because of his fate and, like, the way he died, you could kind of forgive it in a way. But Dranosh, though? Ooh. I don't know. In my opinion, Dranosh is a big wasted potential. He could have easily succeeded Thrall as War Chief when he had to leave. I like Dranosh, but he is not a Thrall replacer. Not remotely. Saurfang would break Bolvar in half. Yes, he would. You definitely would. Like, I like the Horsemen. I think the Ebon Blade would be far less interesting without them for sure, but this is hugely varied order, has 5 humans, an orc, an elf, and I think it's a shame. It is a shame. I just don't know what would fix it, because I feel like you should do stuff with the 4 Horsemen, but I also agree that you should do stuff with the rest of the Ebon Blade. But I mean, some Death Knight drama would be nice. Some Death Knight drama would be nice, I agree. But they should have done that with Nazgrim, kind of. I think that there should be beef. Hell, there should have been a full-on war between the Ebon Blade and the Forsaken after Kultira was rescued from Sylvanas' dungeon. Like, I feel like WoW always does this, where there should definitely be conflict between 2 sides, especially like Gen Greymane and the Horde, or the Horde after Nazgrim gets raised. Like, they just don't do it. But I want to circle back about Dranosh. I know that Dranosh is a very constant thing that the Horde community talks about. Like, oh, if we had Dranosh, we wouldn't have Garrosh as War Chief. And, like, yeah. Here's the problem, though. Garrosh's War Chief brings some very interesting and, like, flat out some of the best stories we ever got, because he's such a conflicting character, because he causes conflict. Dranosh, as much as I like the guy, and he would have been just this Thrall 2.0, he's kind of a wet blanket when you look at him that way. Because then you, like, compare him, like, okay, what does Dranosh bring to the table compared to Garrosh? Like, as much as I think Garrosh is a piece of shit, he does bring some interesting conflict to the story. Like, you would have to do that as well, basically. Ooh, do I finally get a belt? Yes! Wait, no, I don't need a belt. I need boots. God damn it. Chronos was the perfect candidate to succeed him. He was wise, honorable, and was willing to work with the Alliance, and he was a Mag'har orc. Basically, he was the opposite of Garrosh. I get that. I'm not saying he wouldn't be a good leader for the Horde at the time. What I'm saying is he would have been a wet blanket in terms of what does he bring to the story. Like, Garrosh, the reason why Garrosh was so good was because of the fact that he brought conflict in every step that he went with. Like, I like Dranosh as an idea, but I also am kind of like, alright, well, you literally could have him if you had Rexxar as war chief, too. Like, and the thing is, I also think that Rexxar would have caused a little bit more conflict than Dranosh would have, you know? I'm of the belief that Shadowlands should have not only pushed the Horsemen more, but the new allied race Death Knights as well. Imagine each zone had a quest with one Horseman and a new Ebon Blade recruit. Oh, hell yeah. Yeah, Garrosh was a man of action, that's true, but at least I wish Dranosh survived, even if he didn't succeed the role as war chief, as a commander or something. I think Dranosh should have survived as a commander. I think I would have given the Stone Talon moment to Dranosh instead. And I would have had Dranosh be this, like, orc character in the background who rises in the ranks. Or here's the thing. So Dranosh still dies. Saurfang still mourns him. Dranosh becomes a Death Knight. Still dies. The character who would basically fill up Dranosh's shoes would be Ariok. I've always said this. Ariok is the perfect Dranosh clone, but he's not dead. You know? And also he has the conflicting emotions of a berserking orc. He basically is a walking orc Hulk, and I feel like him being forced into being an orc berserker is the draw you need for his character. Because basically, you have him be this steroid raging orc who cannot control himself, and he needs help. And that's cool to me. So I think Ariok is the perfect Dranosh clone, but with more interesting stuff going on with him, with the whole Berserker Orc thing. Like, I like Dranosh, I do. It's just, we never really see him do anything, and that sucks. I'm waiting for Ariok's transformation back to his normal self. Here's the thing with me and Ariok. I personally think he should not fully be able to transform back. He does. But he gets to keep the gift of being able to morph into his Hulk self. Because that's just cool. It's basically his own avatar state like dwarves have. Like Murd and Magni have. Alright, let's go kill the Overseer. I think he's in here, if I'm not mistaken. Are those Naga? I think these are Naga hatcheries, if I'm not mistaken. We're already on the finale to the zone. That's crazy. Well, not the finale to the zone, but the finale to this specific part of the zone. We still have the Battle Maiden questline, I think. So, we actually might finish this section. Wait. Yes, this is the Overseer. Okay. One thing I do remember we need to do before we encounter the Overseer is kill these Naga ladies. Yeah, we didn't see him do anything because he got killed right when we got to see him getting screen time. Yeah, I know. It's just... That's what I'm saying, though. Like, Dranosh is such a wet blanket because we don't really know much about him. So whenever someone says, like, I wish he didn't die, I agree with you, but I'm also kind of like, it's really just tough, you know? You know what I mean? Like, it's like, with what we know of his character right now, he's really boring. And as much as I hate to say it, I do think, like, what they tell with you, with Sarfang, I think it is, like, a little bit more fascinating on, like, the old soldier stuff, and, you know, like, it adds to Sarfang's character, and Sarfang is a more interesting character than his own son, and that does suck. Like, in the what if world, I would make Dranosh have way more depth and way more interesting. But, like, whenever the question comes up of, oh, he should have replaced Thrall, no. I think Thrall is still way more interesting than Dranosh, sadly. People like the idea of Dranosh, not Dranosh himself. Yeah, that's it. Thamshar got it. And the thing is, I think you could get Dranosh, the idea of him, through Rexxar, through Ariok, even through Garrosh in some level. In the Orc Heritage questline, Ariok wanted to ask help from Jorun Deadeye, so maybe that dire Orc transformation could be reversed. I don't think it should be reversed. I think that instead, they can't reverse it, and instead he controls it, which I think is way more interesting and way cooler, because you basically have a walking Orc Berserker with the brain of a competent Orc. Like, that's just cool to me. Ooh, Dogrun would have been a good pick for the Alliance Horseman next to Whitemane. Ooh. If we wanted to have each member of a different race, otherwise I'm liking the idea of Edwin Van Cleef for being one. See, I don't like the idea of another human. So, you have Whitemane, you have Dogron, the first, you have Nazgrim, and you have Zul'jin. That would have been really cool for Horsemen. I like Lorthamar. Just came by to say that. Back to Kotar. Okay, bye Blue. Enjoy your Kotar and enjoy Lorthamar. You'll get your time to shine with Lorthamar Theron in midnight, probably. Alright, let's go back to our Earthmender Durn. Could have sworn... I think it happens after we turn this quest in, yeah. I was gonna say, I thought after you do this quest, she attacks the Naga that are inside her. Dranosh is just straight up not a character. One of the guys who died to Malfurion in BFA, Darkshore, got more characterization than him, and about as many lines. Yeah. I feel really bad about Dranosh. Like, he is a cool character on paper, and whenever people go like, oh man, I wish that he was our war chief instead, I agree with them, but then I start thinking about what we lose when Garrosh isn't war chief. And then I go, yeah, as much as I wish that he was a character, he kind of is a wet blanket, and it sucks. What about Kromgar as a 4 horseman? Kromgar is a nothing character compared to Nazgrim. Kromgar is worse than Nazgrim, actually, because basically you lose all of that interesting thing about bringing Nazgrim back, who is this honorable warrior who died in service of Garrosh, and you want him to come back, and you want him to help out the Horde and help out this current world, but because he died for Garrosh, he kind of is, like, left in purgatory. But then the Ebon Blade come around and are like, no, let's bring him back. Let's give him a second chance to fight. And I much prefer that over Kromgar. Fuck Kromgar. Kromgar is a nothing. Kromgar is just a dick. Like, you know that you mess up when even Garrosh hates you. And he's doing everything in his power to help support Garrosh. Like, he's basically a Malkarok Jr., but worse somehow. I don't know, Malkarok is technically worse than Kromgar, but like at least with Malkarok you get that satisfaction of killing him. Kromgar is just like, he exists for Garrosh to kill him, basically. It's probably gonna be reversed at some point. Questline very highly pointed at that direction because Ariok doesn't feel good at being a hulking monster he just did, saving his comrades. I will love Dranosh forever. I'm not telling you not to love Dranosh, but I'm also telling you that it's more interesting if Ariok gets to control the hulking berserker form. I should farm more likes with the Zoljan Horseman. You should, Thomshire. You should. Yeah, I think that kind of orc, I think it's just more interesting if Ariok gets to control the form. The reason why he doesn't like it is he's stuck being like that 24/7. Of course he's gonna hate it. But I like the idea of the story being about him learning to appreciate his gift and not fully rejecting it. Like, I would love that as a story piece for Ariok. And Ariok being able to control the form would allow him to no longer have it, too. I was so glad when Garrosh grabbed him by the throat and threw him off the cliff. It's one of Garrosh's best moments. It's unfortunate that the moment itself was never meant to happen, and that Astriabi even admitted that it was never meant to be a thing. Like, he basically went against the team to do it, which is like, yeah, you probably shouldn't do stuff like that. Alright, this is better because it doesn't have the whole intellect spirit thing. Is this better? Yes, it is actually. Hooray! Yeah, same. Yeah. I honestly think that the Stone Talon thing should be retconned. Like, not in a malicious way. Like, I'm not saying, like, retcon it completely, but, like, I think that... How would I do the Stone Talon moment? Because, like, on one hand, it should still exist, but I feel like you should have, like, a reason behind why Garrosh reacts the way he does that's changed. Like, instead of Garrosh killing it because of him killing children in the tree, I feel like it's more that Kromgar... Like, I feel like a line that should be dropped is that Kromgar wants to replace Garrosh's war chief. I feel like that would make it make more sense. I don't know. Or rather, it becomes Garrosh gets an idea about it, and we see that be used later for the mana bomb. I don't know. It's tough, because, like, you either change the moment or you keep the moment and you recontextualize it later with another line of dialogue. I don't know. Originally, they wanted Garrosh to embody all the best traits of Grom. We were able to see a glimpse of that in the Stone Tower Mountains, but then they did a 180. No. No. That kind of work, you're getting it wrong, okay? It's the opposite, alright? So originally, Garrosh was supposed to always embody the worst traits of the Old Horde. And the worst traits of Grom, sorry. Their names are so similar. Garrosh was always meant to be this twisted, terrible character, this terrible person who would mistreat the rest of the Horde. When it came to the orcs, he was always supposed to be like, yeah, fuck yeah, I love the orcs. They're great. They're my homies. They're my buddies. I love these guys. But he was always meant to kind of mistreat the other races. Like, Garrosh always was this big walking red flag when it came to the Alliance and the other races. They did a really good job of foreshadowing that in Wrath and Cataclysm. Stone Talon is the one and only time we actually see Garrosh kind of tread backwards, where he kind of rethinks his life, where he kind of goes, no, I should think honorably, I should treat my allies with respect. It's the one time we see that, and like, you could argue maybe it's because it's the Tauren, and Garrosh always kind of harbored some respect to the Tauren. But then you read the story with Bane, and it's like, no, he doesn't respect the Tauren as much either. Just say there was some artifact Garrosh wanted in the Druid Den, yeah. I feel like that's actually a really good point, I like that. Yeah, say say like there's like a thing that Cenarius used to make the Axis Cenarius, and Garrosh wanted to make that for himself, but it gets destroyed in the process, so there can never be another Axis Cenarius, and Garrosh is pissed about that. See, that's cool, because that adds a line to the lore, and it gives a reason as to why Cenarius just doesn't keep making Axes of Cenarius. Bam. Perfect. Love it. That's what they wanted to do, but then they changed the direction. No, they didn't. They always wanted to have Garrosh be this antagonistic force in Cataclysm. He was born in Wrath this way, and in Cataclysm it was supposed to ramp up, and then Mists of Pandaria it was supposed to go to an 11, basically. There was never... Alex even confirmed it, that kind of orc, that the team wanted to take Garrosh in the direction of being an antagonist, being this bad, negative thing that was going to need to be dealt with someday, but Alex is the one who went against the team. He's the one who did the 180. The team itself was always on this path of Garrosh being a negative force. There's a reason why in Twilight Highlands, you have Morgor himself even warn Zayla, see where Hellscream takes you. That was a foreshadowing of what was to come in Mists of Pandaria. That was not them doing a 180. That was never them going against the grain. Garrosh was always supposed to be this bad dude. It was stated by Blizzard. No, it wasn't. I'm telling you right now that Alex Asriabi, even the guy who wrote the Stone Talon questline, admitted that he went against the team when writing Stone Talon. He himself admitted it during Worlds of Draenor that, hey, I'm sorry, this was never how Garrosh was supposed to be represented. I went against the team. I went against them. I should have never done that, because people were asking questions. People were wondering, hey, why didn't we see more of that Stone Talon Garrosh? Stone Talon is the only time that Garrosh was like this. He was consistent outside of that. Team was assholes themselves. Alex wanted him to be a good guy. The team was not assholes. Alex was the asshole. That kind of orc... You can't keep doing this, guy. I'm not trying to be a jerk here, but you keep coming in here and you keep becoming a red flag yourself. I'm really, like, I'm warning you. I really hate doing this. I'm getting really kind of frustrated that people like you keep happening, and I'm trying to steer you away from becoming this. But you can't keep doing this. You can't keep being like, no, Blizzard was the ones who made Garrosh become evil. Garrosh was always supposed to be evil. I'm trying to make it clear to you that that was always the plan. Alright? There's a small chance that Garrosh was supposed to be at one point, there's a chance that he was supposed to be redeemed, right? There's a chance that he might have gone the path that Alex was pushing him towards. But the team was like, no, we're gonna make him a villain. This is what we're doing. And Alex is the one who was like, no, I'm gonna keep doing with the original idea. If that's what you're saying, that kind of work, that's a whole other thing. But Alex was supposed to... I'm not allowed to have my opinion, right? Your opinion... How do I say this? You can have your opinion, but what you're saying is going against a fact, okay? Alright? What I am saying is what the team and Alex himself presented, okay? If you have a problem with me presenting a fact, that's one thing. Alright? If you like Garrosh and you wish that he was redeemed, that's a whole other thing. But personally, it's a red flag. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to steer you away from that mindset, because that mindset leads to some pretty nasty stuff. But facts are different for everyone? No. No. That's not how facts work. Opinions are different for everyone. Facts are factual. That's the whole point of what a fact is. Like, there's... I'm just trying to help you, alright? like, if you like Garrosh, that's one thing. But the moment you start going, the team were all evil, the team were all jerks and a-holes because they made Garrosh a villain, no. That's not it. That's where I draw the line at. But is that a fact? I'm sorry. What we're talking about, Evozor, and since you came into the conversation, so this keeps coming up. What that kind of orc was talking about was the whole Garrosh thing. The whole Garrosh direction, the whole thing about that, and how originally the Blizzard devs, and this is what that kind of orc was saying, alright? This is where I'm correcting. This is where the course correction has to come in. Was that he was always meant to be this heroic character, that he was going to be a guy that the orcs would look up to, and that he would be this paragon for the Horde. That was not really the plan. I don't know where that's coming from, but the plan, and that might have been like an original idea, like a core concept idea that they had on the drawing board, but what I'm saying is they course corrected from that from a while ago. Like, they did not have that hanging on the board and growing like, yeah, Garrosh is going to be a good guy, Garrosh is going to steer clear, he's gonna turn around, he's gonna become a good guy. They went away from that. They went away from that a while ago, and what Alex Asriabi even confirmed in the interview that we're talking about is that, like, yeah, the team and we were talking about it, and what I did was I went against the team. I shouldn't have done that, but I did it anyways, and I'm sorry. That was the whole interview that we were talking about, and it's like, it was all the way in Words of Draenor, and he was like, yeah, I did something different. I probably shouldn't have done that, but I did it anyways. And that's what we were talking about. People always disagree with you, that's just life, man. I'm well aware that people will disagree with me, and that's fine. But what we're talking about is something completely separate from that. It might be a fact if one way or more if the writers were assholes. Again, they weren't assholes for doing this. We didn't know them personally, so we'll never know, you know. I don't think that the writers who wrote Garrosh to be a villain were assholes. I think that Alex Asriabi, and this is why I call him Asriabi, who was an abuser and went against the team multiple times, and they even said this, that he kept doing that. I think that the only asshole there would be Asriabi. I think that if the team has an idea, right, where Garrosh is supposed to be a villain, and one person in the team goes against that to write their own story, and he's asked not to do that, and he keeps doing it, I think he's the asshole. But if we're talking about facts and opinions, and like, facts, in terms of facts, I think that Garrosh being an antagonist was indeed the plan. You know? Alex was a real-life Blackmore? Exactly. Is this where we're getting misconstrued? Are you saying that Alex is the asshole? Or are you saying the other team members are the asshole? Because I could be misreading what you're saying. Facts become different when new information arrives, not when you dislike it. Anyways, smash or pass NPCs in this cave. Okay. Smash. Earthwatcher Como, we're smashing him. Ballora, Fire Wreath, smash. We already smashed you. Smash. 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 Super smash. This fireplace. Pass. This lobster's pass. This guy who's running away, smash. This Tauren lady, smash. The seahorse, pass. We don't know the writers personally, so we'll never know if they are good or bad people in reality. That's a lot of smashing. I personally think that could be flipped on its head too, that kind of orc. Because I don't know them, I don't know if I would call them an a-hole. But because of Asriabi, because of the details we do know about him, I do think we can call him an asshole. I just think that... I personally think that calling a team, developers who were writing Cataclysm at the time, assholes just because they wrote Garrosh as antagonistic is silly. Like, you're entitled to disliking that story, but I just think that it's silly to call them assholes over it. Like, I think that Garrosh being an antagonist was the right pick. Like, I do think that was the right story to follow, and that's my opinion. You can disagree with it. I'm gonna get on the seahorse. Yeah, I was gonna say we don't know the other people because we don't have information on them, so making the assumption on them is kind of dumb. Exactly. Like, the reason why you're mad is because people in this and me are all saying, I think we all think it's silly that you don't like them because they wrote Garrosh that way. And it makes it sound like, again, I'm glad that you called Asriabi Blackmore, but still... It just isn't a good look, in my opinion. Who dis? Okay, cool. I'm gonna start doing episode 2, an eye for an eye. Oh, hey! You're gonna watch Journey in the Shadowlands episode 2? Enjoy that. I worked really hard on that. When the heck am I gonna get boots? I want male boots, please. Because Alex was a real-life Blackmore, wasn't he? I mean, yeah. That's exactly what we were agreeing on. Asriabi is a horrible person. Not just for his, details in the story. I mean, that's one thing, going against your entire team to do your own thing and disagreeing with them, and I just think that's terrible. Like, you should be a team player. Like, there's one, like, obviously there's, like, a hero story where it's like, oh, the guy went against everyone, and for doing so, that's a good thing. But, like, in this case, you're a multiple offender of doing this, and you knew you shouldn't do it, and you're apologizing for it years later. That's a bad look. And then on top of that, you're a terrible person who does horrible things to your employees that I'm not going to say because I don't want to, demonetize and get in trouble on YouTube. But, doing horrible stuff that should land you in jail. You're a horrible person, So, yeah. This is why Thrall made the Horde Council. Bro did not want a third round of Actually the War Chief is Good debates. Yeah. Thanks, Sil. Thank you. Again, I'm just trying to help you out, that kind of orc, because let's maybe not have the mindset that you're having right now. That's all. Where's Poseidon? Is Poseidon up? Can we kill Poseidon? Oh yeah, Poseidon is usually like... Wait, Poseidon spawns there? I have never seen Poseidon spawn there. I know Poseidon usually spawns over here. And I could get a mint off of that. That is like a solid way to get gold. I also think Poseidon might be level 85 though. Actually, let me look up Poseidon's level. Hold on. Poseidon. Warcraft. Poseidon, what level is Poseidon? It's level 35, but what about... Goodness. What level is Poseidon in Cataclysm? Doesn't really tell me. What level is Poseidon? What level is Poseidon in Cataclysm. 81. Oh. We could actually head over there and see if it's up. Alright, I'm gonna do that actually. Let's do our fingers crossed. Not a huge fan of the Horde Council because we haven't seen much of it. I agree with that. I do think the Horde Council, is one of those things that we don't see much of. What server are you playing on, if you don't mind me asking? I am playing on Mancrick, on the US servers of Classic. Guys, I swear Blackhand was supposed to be a good person, but those dorks in the Shadow Council made him bad. It wasn't his fault in character, I swear. One of the things I really like about the lore in WoW is it really is, in my opinion, not hard to follow on who is bad and who is good. Like, they kind of hit you over the head on how evil a person is. When a character goes, man, that guy was evil. Man, that guy killed babies. Like, I don't know. It's fascinating to me. Like, we have these debates all the time about characters like Garrosh and like, I don't even think anyone really debates about Blackhand, if I'm being honest. It was very apparent that he was a bad dude. Alright, let's see if Poseidus is up. This is gonna be funny if he is. Because that's like free money, pretty much. He actually might be up too, because like, I don't know how many people in Classic actually like check this area. Alright, Poseidus. Where are you at, homie? Flash target. Oh. Poseidus. Homie. He actually might not be up. People might be more aware of the gold farming of Poseidus than I realize. Because I used to farm this guy in Mop. And I finally sold him. After getting him, of course. But, you know. Right, Poseidus might not be up. There's a good chance for that. That's kind of sad. Maybe he's Podhidus, yeah. Why didn't you scold him? Why didn't I scold who? Guys, I swear every Draenei settlement was a legitimate military target and the Path of Glory was super honorable. Wait, where are all the quotes, retweets coming from? I'm confused on what you mean by why didn't I scold him. Who am I not scolding? Am I supposed to scold people for disagreements? Like what? I'm scolding you, that kind of orc, because you were being a red flag person with very estranged opinions that usually I have to talk about because it's frickin' Garrosh, and I don't know, calling every developer that worked on Garrosh at the time to be a villain an a-hole is kind of like worthy of me being like, no, maybe don't. Khono, you need to correct Syl. She's not spitting facts. I don't think I need to correct Syl at all. Why would I need to correct Syl at all? I'm very confused. I think I do need to skull people, though. I do like where Thomshire is going with that. Alright, well, I don't think Poseidus is up, so that's sad. Bum, 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 ba-dum, 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 ba-dum. Is it? It's almost 7? Jeez. Well, in fairness, I was not, I took like, what? 20 minutes to ramble on about Garrosh again? We need to stop doing that. I need to make up a sign where we are not allowed to talk about Garrosh anymore. Because it's the same topic over and over again, no matter what. Like, one person says Garrosh did nothing wrong. I go on a 20 to 30 minute long ramble about why he is wrong. The person gets upset and angry and leaves or says something else. I am like, wow, guy, calm down. It's Garrosh. He's a fictional evil character. And then, again, it's just rinse and repeat. It's like, I should just stop talking about him because it just leads to the same old shit. Post a Garrosh fan cam and you'll find lightning warg jaws on your neck within the hour. Maybe I should. I wonder if the gnome rares up. I guess not. Okay. What are we doing here? We need... Cataclysm really is just the random, like, hey, do this quest. Be free. Garrosh was one of the worst people? He was. And so was Alex. I'm very confused that kind of work where you're going. I really don't. I'm very confused. Because one moment you'll be like, I like Garrosh. Garrosh is cool. And I'll be like, yeah, Garrosh is a cool villain. And then the next moment you'll be like, no, wait a minute. I don't like that Blizzard made him a villain. Like, which is it? Like, I feel like you can... I feel like on some level you could do both. Because my friend Box... Box is a really big fan of the Garrosh could have been redeemed thing. I'm personally like, I think that he's fine being a villain. But I also see where he's coming from, and I like some of his ideas. Like, Garrosh being redeemed could work. It's just that that's not the story we got, and it's like, yeah, well, that's Garrosh for you. You get a shell, and you get a shell. Cataclysm is the expansion of all time. I'm just agreeing with the majority, so I won't be annihilated by everyone? Okay. I don't know what you want from me. Like, I'm not gonna agree with everything one of my viewers says, and I'm not gonna disagree with everything my viewer says. Like, I'm just gonna be honest and open, and it's not my job to police you, but at the very least I want to make sure a person does not become a Garrosh Andrew Tate stan or something, you know? After all, why not? Why shouldn't I sick my electric dog on reply guys? You know, I should probably send Skull after people, right? I wonder if we're going to see the orc and human from the mop trailer. I like that. Oh, goodness. We gotta give this Tauren lady her shell. Don't some of them say, have my babies or something? I swear one of them did say that. Hold on. I don't pay attention to the quest text because I've done this so many times. They might have removed it, knowing them. They might have been like, that might be too much. You know, I was wondering if the orc and the human MOP trailer were supposed to be Nazgûl and Taylor. Probably not. They were not, because they were like some of the first two on the island, and they were like a separate ship. I think the orc, if I'm not mistaken, is the orc from the Hearthstone trailers, because he looks identical to him. And then the human, I think the human was supposed to be a Coltiran. I remember at the time I theorized it might have been like Dalen's kid or something. Alright. Next we need to get is grouper meat. Yeah, he definitely looked Coltiran. I know they inspired the design by Coltiran. Handsome sailor man, sure. Ooh, I do wish that the orc and human characters were relevant from the mop trailer, like they were actual characters we met and interacted with. That would have been really cool to see, especially like in the Rebellion patch. Like we just see those two. Oop. I accidentally kicked my microphone's wire, so let me know if I sound like a robot now. I don't think I sound like a robot, but hey, you never know. And every day I think that I don't sound like a robot, but then I do, and then I'm like, well, sound like a robot. Yeah, that would have been neat, but alas, yeah. That happens a lot though in WoW. Like you want a character to be relevant from a thing, and then it never is relevant, and you kind of just move on with your life and go on. You know? Sounds normal. Awesome. We should make those two the main characters of Ironwrath. All right, let's add them. Let's add them, Thomshire. We could use some of Catherine's armor for the shoulder pads. And we just gotta give the guy like a little trench coat sailor outfit. And then the orc is easy. The orc is super easy. All you have to do is give him like a grunt's armor and then just give him tattoos and one Ogremar shoulder pad or something. God, I'm tired. What the fudge? I did wake up at like 7 a.m., so I guess it's expected. How's your day? It's been busy, Monkey. It's been very busy. The Khan from the trailer also became a good character. Yeah. But they also planned on him being a character, I think. Maybe. At least from Old Soldier. And then have them make out in the background of a shot? Sure. Alright, now we need to kill the Murlocs, I think. We have to go on a rampage, you know? I actually really like the deep sea Murlocs. I always thought they were really neat and just cool. In Warcraft 3, weren't Murlocs just called Merkles or something? Like, they weren't even, like, Murlocs, they were just Merc Gills or something like that. I swear that's what they were called. I wonder if that's the explanation they gave as to why Murlocs can't talk, but Merc Gills can. They should make love, not Warcraft. Hey, there we go. In Warcraft 3, were they able to talk about in full sentences? Yeah, I know. It's like, but in Warcraft 3, they were also called Merc Gills and not Murlocs. I'm pretty sure, right? I don't remember them being called Murlocs at all. Like, I don't even think they were name dropped as Murlocs. I think they were just called something else. I also really like that Varian dude in the Legion trailer. They went all out for him, huh? Yeah, that guy was... It's kind of weird how, like, he kind of reminded me of another character we saw before, but, like... Nah, that couldn't be the same character because, like, he had, like, extra polygons on his face in the cinematics. Like, so they clearly could not be the same character, right? So... I don't remember. Yeah, let me look, hold on. I want to look up Murlocs real quick. Warcraft 3. I swear they were called, like, Merc Gills or something. Murlocs. Let's see, let's see. Their voice actor is Tracy W. Bush. Wait, what? Huh. You learn something new every day. Okay, they were called Murgol. Murgol are normal Murlocs that were seen as creeps in units in Warcraft 3 Frozen Throne. Okay. Murgol differ from Murlocs in that they have larger teeth, armored scales, and spikes on their backs. Some Murlocs, but not all, later use the Murgol model with spikes and not their usual fins. And Murgol likely influenced their current design. Oh. Fascinating. Holy shit. Murgol look horrifying in the art, the Manual of Monsters. They look way creepier. Maybe it's because they're just like black and like, you know, there's something like about like black and white pictures that make the image far more scarier or cooler than with color sometimes. So I wonder if that's the reason, but it looks like a xenomorph. W. Bush, different W. Bush, I'm sure, but that's where my brain went to. That screaming archer lady in BFA cinematic was super cool, though. I always wondered why she never appeared in that expansion itself. Good question. Alright, you gotta sadly bounce. Glad to manage to catch you on your streams. I love your stuff. Thank you. I don't want to mess up your name, so I'm not even gonna mention it. They are scary as hell in Warcraft 3. They were actually, like, I don't know, they definitely came off as more of a threat because they didn't make the Murloc noise. They're kind of just a joke in Warcraft and WoW, but like in Warcraft 3 they were presented more as a threat. I remember like as a kid I was like, whoa, these guys just killed Sen'jin, my dude, my guy. I would have loved to have go deeper in the Hydro prison where Fandral Staghelm was imprisoned. I'm pretty sure that's the same place, Jacob, where Illidan was also imprisoned. Stomach, shut up, I'll feed you later. When we finish this Vajir zone, we will definitely feed you, Stomach, and we will also probably end the stream or something. I don't know. We've got time. We've got an hour. Also, we're almost level 82. Awesome. I swear they made the experience way better as the expansion has gone on, because I do not remember it being this quick to level. Like, I remember, like, I was, like, level 82 or 83, like, really late in Vajir. At the same time, I'm way better at playing my, I'm way better at playing my class and playing WoW than I was when I was, like, a teenager. Or a preteen. I was a preteen. I was 11 when this game was, when Cataclysm was out. Like, that's wild. Like, that was so long ago. That was 14 years ago? Let me do my math real quick. I think I was like, see, I was 11. I was 11 during Wrath of the Lich King. No, I was a teenager. My bad. I was not a preteen during Cata. I was a teenager during Cata. I just became a teenager. I'm just curious on how elves would punish other races. Like, for example, a human breaking a night elf's law. I almost said jaw. Or an orc breaking a blood elf law. How laws work. How punishment would work for shorter lifespans. Good question. Are those... Okay, that's pants. I can finally get some pants. Cool. When am I gonna get some boots? I just want some boots. I just want to see that explored a bit more just in a side quest. That could be interesting. I feel like they should do more like prison break quests. They don't do those as often as they should. We're almost level 82. That's pretty awesome. And we're almost done with this zone. This zone is very shorter than I remember. Maybe just Kelpthar Vorus is just really paced really slowly. Or the quest that we were doing in there just took longer, but like... I think we have like, what, the Naga Maiden quest line to do after this? I don't know. We might not finish it today, actually, when I think more about it. But like, I just remember this taking a lot more time. Alright. Do I need to read this? I do. Let's destroy some monitors. Do I need to kill a patroller? Yes, I do. The Naga bit goes on for a while. Yeah. I do like that about, the Vajir zone. But I also don't like that. It's weird. Like, I love Vajir as a place. It is one of my favorite zones in Cataclysm, but we were talking about how Cataclysm was like... Cata and Mop had that issue where, like, the zones just kind of dragged on a bit. And, Syl here actually talked about how, Worlds of Draenor was the one that kind of scrubbed that down and made the pacing of zones a lot better. But you know what? I would agree. I would agree with that. I mean, Warlords of Draenor was when questing got really freaking good, and it took, like, all the lessons from Mop and kind of just applied it to itself. Like, if Mop and Wad had a baby, It would be a very good expansion. Like, you have, like, the questing experience and the reputation from Mists of Pandaria, and then the aesthetics and the questing, or whatever, like the pacing questing of WoD, the music of WoD, and the music of MoP, and then just the dungeons of WoD were also really good, and the raids. I mean, so were the raids in MoP, though. I really like the raid MoP. The MoPs, the raids in Mists of Pandaria were really good. Oh, that's a Queen Ajara statue? Huh. It looks like a blood elf. They could do this underwater zone concept so much better now. I wish they gave it another chance. I agree. Who cares about Warrior's Charge messing up? This is about the art. See, that's what I want. I want another underwater zone. Like, you take the aesthetics from Najtar, right? And you make it an underwater zone. All you need is WoD plus content. I mean, I think combining Mists of Pandaria and WoD would get the same results, really. But yeah, Wards of Draenor definitely needed that content. That is the unfortunateness of Wards of Draenor. I mean, I still think that the fact that it's an alternate timeline hinders it quite a bit, but if it had been allowed to finish its story, it would be hailed as one of the greats, definitely. Also like how where they draw a line for laws because Night Elves hate mages, yet allow humans and Draenei mages to roam around. Well, that was, what, Classic? They did change their minds about mages pretty quickly. Like, obviously a human is allowed to do mage stuff, but a Night Elf at the time, you know, they were probably more concerned about another Ajara or another Illidan popping up, really. But eventually they got over the whole Night Elf mage thing. Even Maiev got over it. So, you know, good for her. Something like that is interested in if we're look at the laws. I mean, I don't think, again, the Night Elves would arrest you for being a mage. Now, if you were a mage and you started summoning demons through a portal, well, yeah, probably. I guess it depends on what eras you're talking about, Monkey. Like, a human, well, not even a human mage, but like a Night Elf mage would probably get arrested in, a Night Elf mage would probably get arrested in, like, Classic. But, like, during Cataclysm, probably not. I mean, we're good on monitors. Just need patrollers, and we need to look at the statues a little bit more. There's some statues over here, if I remember correctly. I don't know if it's up top or okay. No, we just need to patrol the structures now. Just Rajir is just a very unique zone. I love the music here. I love the aesthetics here. I love the story. It does. I think the problem with the story is it does drag on a bit. That is the one thing I'll give the story. Like, I do like the Battle Maiden stuff, though. The Battle Maiden stuff is, like, the best part, probably. Assuming Wrath era, not including the retail. The Wrath era, yeah, probably Night Elves would arrest a mage. Or worse, really. A Night Elf mage, specifically. I don't know about a human mage. I don't really think that's how that works, because, like, the moment you do that, the other parties of the Alliance would probably get involved. They'd probably be like, hey, why did you arrest the human guy? And then Jaina would be like, wait, I'm a human mage, you have a problem with me? And then Toronto would be like, no, not really. See, 3 more patrollers. Oop. Is this the... I can't tell if this is the classic Naga or if it's still a Kata. Yeah, that's the Kata, the new Kata, texture. I like looking at that. I don't know why I do. I'm just like, is this a classic Naga or a Kata Naga with the Kata textures? Because again, I can't stop reiterating it, but we did learn that those were a texture added in Cataclysm over on top the classic models, which is weird, but also fascinating. 2 more patrol dudes. There's one. Hello, friend. Get him, Skull. Bump-a-dum, bump-a-dum, beep-a-doo. Alright, that's our last patrol man. Need to... High Priestess Sarah-Lane. Sarah-Lane. Where are you at, Sarah-Lane? There you are. Isn't Vajir named after Lady Vosh, or am I mistaken? I'm pretty sure it's named after Lady Vosh because it literally has her name in it. Aha! Is that the Gul'dan skull? It is! No, wait. That's not the Gul'dan skull. That's the, no, I'm pretty sure that is the Gul'dan skull. It's either the Gul'dan skull or the Merogar skull. They look similar. Huh. Thing. Very interesting. I get very, like, into the objects they use for, like, in WoW or whatever, because then it's like, ooh. I remember when they used that. I'm gonna say, is this the right cave? And then I look, oh yeah, there's the Horde banner. Last thing I want is to enter the Alliance cave. Ooh, we're gonna hit level 82. Let's go! And a new ring. Or not a new ring, a new necklace. Nice. Okay, that's spirit. And a new trinket. Cool. We need to attune to the weapon. Nice. And new pants. Let's go! Okay. Let me attune to my blade. Brought to ding level 82. Nice. We might actually finish this zone. I'm not sure if we will, but we might.
I could hear the sound of your trident breaking from the gardens. The skulls of these Kvaldir are as strong as rock.
A single prong, hardly enough to stop me from slaughtering
voice acting in WoW when it does it. Which they don't do often for some reason in this era, but I guess voice actors are expensive. And this is the old Cavalier model. I haven't seen these boys in a while. I remember whenever I played this as a kid, I was like, man, I wish playable Naga was a thing. Like, I just remember that big time whenever I did this quest. I was like, man, Naga are so cool. To be in front of me, alright. The Battle Maiden questline is probably my favorite in Vajir. I hope that they make her an actual legitimate character someday, like that we fight or encounter again. I think her name is actually Nazjar. I could be wrong. I always just thought her name was like, isn't it Nazjar? Hold on. I think she was also proclaimed to be a queen at one point. Hold on. I need to look up her lore. It's been forever. Battle Maiden. Najira. Najira was formerly a Nazjar battle maiden, but upon completing and defeating the Kobold army, she was crowned champion of Ajara. Her story plays out through the visions, blah, 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 blah. Her current whereabouts are unknown. Yeah, I really hope she, speculate that Najira may have been slated to appear in the scrapped Abyssal Maw instance. Najira does not appear in Nazjar. Yeah, I really hope that, I hope that she shows up in Midnight. I think she'd be a really good boss or a really cool character for us to encounter. Like, we have not, this lady has not been dealt with yet, and she's just out there still. See if I can take a screenshot of this lady. Let's turn this bad boy in. Hello. I do love, like, the detail on the Cataclysm, like, retextured model. Like, it looks good. Like, it doesn't look amazing or anything, because, like, Legion makes them look way better, but, like, I just am very... I like it when they redo a model. Obviously, this is, like, an actual new model they did here. Female one. It's not a retexture, it's like a straight up new model. But, yeah. I remember really liking, the new Naga models when I first saw them. Or retextures, rather. Whatever. But, obviously the Legion ones are way better looking. Right, another quest. Do we ever... Mistress of the Tide, Lady Sira Kess. I don't remember if we ever kill her. We need to activate some wards. It says that it's all the way over here, so it might be up top though. Knowing us, it's probably up top. I haven't done these quests in forever. The last time I did the Cataclysm zones and Vajir and all the other stuff was like a very long time ago. I don't even remember. That's how long ago it was. I'm trying to think of, like, when it was. I think it was, like, a year or two ago? Long enough for me not to remember this quest. Hooray! Get out of here. Could the scrapped Abyssal Maw come back as a raid in Modern? Wow, I think Midnight or Last Titan could be a good time to bring it into the game. I don't know about that. I don't know if I'd bring back the Abyssal Maw raid, but I think you could bring back ideas from it. Like, I think the idea of Ajara taking over the seas by getting rid of Neptulon could be an idea. I think the Najira being a threat could also be kind of like a thing they could play with. I just don't know if I would use Vajir as the zone, but like an underwater zone maybe for sure. Or like expanded Najtar maybe. Najira could definitely use a better looking drip than what she's wearing right now. Let's see. 4 more Cavaldiers. Okay. Only 7? Man, I'm wigging out because I've been up for like 12 hours. Now I really want to do like fan art or whatever of like Najira with Ajara or something. I want to do that. I might do that after the stream. I mean, theoretically, wait, does this have access to Ajara? Hold on, I'm curious. Hold on. I open up Narcissus. Oh, we're crying out loud. Go away. Get out of here. Let me look at Narcissus, you weirdo. Okay, get out of here. Okay, I don't care. I'm just curious if I can look at Queen Ajara from Battle for Azeroth. Probably not. End of Ajara, Fury of Ajara, Image of Ajara, Queen Ajara. Alright, that's the old model. And that's the model from Cataclysm. Well, I was curious. No, I don't want to disable the add-on. But what I will do is I will reload my UI. Okay. Ah! Not mean to grab that. Alright, let's turn this in. Nice. Yeah, the Battle Maiden is one of my favorite quest lines in Vajir. I just like it when you get to play as like as a separate character. Like I always think it's really cool. We gotta deal with the unrelenting dude. Okay, so he's all the way over here. I think the Battle Maiden has 3 chapters. This is the first chapter we're doing. The first chapter is doing this, and then the second chapter is summoning the faceless one. No, that's the final chapter. The second chapter is dealing with the Cavaldier still, I think. It's been a minute. I don't remember everything. I don't think so, buddy. Oh, he's immune. He's not dying. Kill him. It is weird hearing an orc voice come out of a Naga lady. And now you're dead. Alright. So remember I love that like it coincides like what we're doing in Vajir. Like we're doing our invasion, and then while we're doing our invasion we learn more about Najira. I hope she's not a scrap content, cause like she's just a cool character from Cataclysm, and like I understand like the hype that she has to live up to. It might be overbearing for Warcraft, but like I think they could make it work. All right, that's stamina. Let me get the ring, the trinket. 174. Let's do that one. That. Right. Take me back. You have 3k gold. Nice. Oh yeah, and I got a talent point. Let's see. Increases range haste. Again, this doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of it anyways, because they're gonna be changing this talent tree in Mists of Pandaria anyways. And I'll be honest with you, I know people don't like this, but I kind of preferred the mop talent tree over like the new talent trees. Like the new talent trees are nice because they gave us some new abilities, I'll agree with that. And like new passives, but you could have gotten that with levels, not the talent trees. I don't know. Cloth boots. Not mail boots. Sad day.
Quickly, quickly! Hit the road!
I remember this quest. You give it to the guys up here. You give them new ammo. Here you go, friend. These guys need way better drip. I'm just saying. That's an Alliance lookout. How dare they? How dare the Alliance besmirch Vajir with their presence? How dare they? Don't they know that Vajir belongs to the Horde? Like, how dareth they? Oh, this guy already lost his ammo. Dude, thought I just gave it to you. How dare you? Oh, this guy's barefoot. Look at him. Keep up the good work. I always really like this. Oh, man. I love it when, like, we have, like, the Alliance and Horde, like, in the zone doing shit. You know, it's just, you know, being all fake angry about the Alliance being here, but I'm not. It's just being silly. Being very goofy and silly. Those are my favorite traits. Okay, so next we get some Bud, and then we also kill some Naga. Cool. And that's how we get these fruits. Get these giant ass fruits. It is fascinating how you can tell certain things in Cataclysm were like overridden. Like you have like this new graphic here of this like, I don't know, help thing. But then like you look around and you can clearly tell that this is using like classic assets still. I think the Blood Elf Priestess from the Burning Crusade opening would make an appearance in Ironwrath and she would be given a name. Alright, Domshire. Alright, Domshire, you know what we need to do. Alright, one more Bud. Or not Bud, Bulb. I can't read. Alright, let's kill some Naga. Let's go! Gotta save money somehow. Honestly, it's a tale as old as time when developers reuse old assets to prop up the new ones. Well, I know that, so Cataclysm in specific, Blue, was like, while it was in development, they got new technology for new assets, which is why as Cataclysm progressed and we got Firelands, it was like entirely new HD graphical, magical nonsense. And then Mists of Pandaria, you could really tell they stepped up their game, and then hence onward, they kind of just like, hey, let's just keep going. So, like, you could tell, like, the art team basically, like, improved from Cataclysm onward, basically. Like, it no longer really had to rely on old assets, it could make new assets. Which would probably had a lot to do with its budget. I think WoW just got a better budget. Definitely. As it expanded and got better and bigger and yada yada. No, there we go. I accidentally hit my microphone again. If any revamp WoW zones got delves, I bet that the Barons get the most. I don't know if, well, I guess that is something to consider. If we get revamped, Kalimdor and Eastern Kingdoms down the line, I guess it's not impossible for them to do delves in those zones. Though I don't think we're gonna see Kalimdor and the Eastern Kingdoms revamped for a while. Like, I think that it's gonna be like, we'll get Quel'Thalas, the tippity top of it. So like the northern most northern part of the Eastern Kingdoms will get updated, obviously. But and then we'll get Last Titan, and then maybe after Last Titan, we'll we'll get a revamp for the world. But I have no idea. Oh, I mean the target skull. Womp womp. Alright. Let's go turn this bad boy in. I think we're gonna get our next Battle Maiden chapter next. And then after that, we'll get another set of Horde quests. And then after the Horde quests, we'll get our final Battle Maiden quest, which I believe is the finale to this zone. So hey, that's pretty cool. And then we move on in our I think our little ship or whatever. No, we call for reinforcements at the top, I think, and that's the ending. Maybe. Or that's the other zone. I don't remember. I'm probably mixing it all up. Careful out there. Alright, that's more gold. Finally, male boots! Hell yeah. Alright. I bet the next expansion after Last Titan will be 2028, 2030? Yeah, 2028 sounds about right. That's crazy. That after after the World Soul Saga, we will be like almost in the year 2030. I always really like how they use these really cool like Mimiron or Myrmidon, whatever they're called, Naga from Burning Crusade as like the commanders. Like that's so cool to me. Aiden slain. We need to kill Arcadans next. What are Arcadans? I don't see the Arcadans. Is that something we need to kill on the ground? That's an Arcadan. Okay. That's one down. Also, my headset is about to fry out because it needs to get charged. That's a telltale sign as any of you need to end the stream soon, or at the very least, take a break to charge it. Because I again have been up for 12 hours, so which sounds about accurate, you know, all things considered with the with how long my headset usually lasts. Lasts about 12 hours then. Oh, is the reason why I didn't get credit was because some of the people had already targeted them? That's probably it. Okay. Well, I need 2 more of these dudes. There's like one right there, I see. Let me mess him up. I wonder who will be our new delve partner after Bran. I hope it's Rexar. He was in the data files, so hey, you never know. Hooray, we did it! Okay, let me charge my headset. Really hard to do. There we go. But how do I get off this thing? Is it just gonna get me over there automatically? I guess so. That's nice. So it knows when I'm done. That's nice. Alright, give me my boots. Hell yeah. Finally got male boots. Alright, so we need to rescue some volunteers. I think this is the classic Naga model. Yep. This is the non-Kata version with the non-Kata textures. Nice. Nice to see we actually see them sometimes. I mean, I don't like seeing them if I'm being honest, but you know. It's nice in a way to see them. Here we go. Yeah, get out of here, buddy. I believe in you. Alright, it's wherever the dead seahorses are. Haha! There's a bunch of little friends here. Leave me alone, Naga. No! Well, now you get to die. I hope you're happy with yourself. You happy with your life choices, buddy? Yeah. Didn't think so. Alright, now we need to scout. Now we need to meet the scout. Yeah, I do think we're getting close to wrapping up, which is good. Getting one section of Vajir done every day of the week. Well, not every single day of the week, because I'm not gonna do streaming tomorrow, and I'm gonna probably wait till Monday? No, probably Tuesday. I think I'm gonna keep Mondays for me. Assault looks like it did almost no damage at all. They're already back in formation. Well, that's rough. Scout the tunnel to the north, and I think that's what these guys are doing. The Naga priestess looked to be summoning a near endless stream of reinforcements. Bum bum bum. That's never good. Okay, where is our friends? Our friends are they down below or are they up here? I think they're up here. That's where they were. That's where they were last time. Alright, what do I get? I can get gloves? Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah. I can get really good gloves. Alright, witness the battle maiden. Oh, I thought the battle maiden was here. I guess it's somewhere else. Okay. Take off my headset from charging, because we are all good for now. Next up on the Battle Maiden.
The Kavaldir have been purged from the city. Now we can begin our preparations. Battle Maiden, I have a task that requires your attention.
Let's do it. Back up swimming, back up swimming. Da 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 da. Gotta speak to our friends. Fathom Lord. Let's. And then the Overseer. Then Lady Syracuse. I have no memory if Syracuse was ever killed. I kind of want to look that up, actually. Syracuse. Because I don't remember her dying. They're led by Lady Syracuse. They appear one of the 3 casts in Vashir, likely focusing on spellcasting or priesthood. It doesn't look like she dies. It doesn't even say that she dies. Oh, there we go. Lady Syracuse. Never mind. I'm wrong. Eventually, he lands a horde focus briefly and clash with her in the Abyssal Breach, where she is killed. So she does die. Noted. I just wanted to know if she actually did die. Alright, yeah, and then we do this, where we kill the rest of the Kavaldir. And then after we kill the Kavaldir, we, nice seeing like them actually patrolling. That's cool. There we go. Hello. Is this the new Naga's texture? Yes, it is. Nice. I love seeing the new Naga texture. I don't. It's so fascinating seeing it because you don't see it anymore. You can't see it anymore in After Legion. I just like that. Okay, I do not apparently kill that guy. Raikwell Ledge killed. Guy's Ledge. Yes. The tornadoes are bad. Duly noted. I love knowing what I'm doing when I play WoW. 11-year-old me had no idea what the hell he was doing. Not 11-year-old. Well, yeah, 11-year-old me didn't know what he was doing either, but 13-year-old me didn't know either. He kind of just button mashed. I'm gonna yoink this guy. Get yoinked, boy. Don't we also need to steal the crucible thingy? Remember that was one of the quests. He was like, I need you to take the crucible thing and I need you to steal it. Remember that. Yep, there he is. He's gonna be like, go take the thingy. Go take the thing. Let's yoink this. Hell yeah, we got the thing. Yeah, we need to bring the High Shaman to the Executioner. Did I accidentally kill them? Where's the High Shaman? Oh, there he is. Follow me, little friend. Come get executed. Yay! Get deaded, I guess, you know? Hooray! Alright, let's head back to our Naga friends. Now we have the Crucible. I think, if I remember correctly, we gotta charge up the Crucible, and then once it's charged, that's when it ends, I think. Maybe. Oh. No, it ends there. Okay. So whenever the Crucible thing will be the next step. Okay. Duly noted. I think Terranzu, since his evil's coming to his land soon. Well, probably. All things considered. We want the gloves. Return to the forward post. Finally getting some. I do like look at all this. Like that is crazy. Like you go to current WoW, and it's like pretty much just these two little boxes, maybe a third one at most. But like, look at all this. That's crazy to me. Like they have like the little resistance thing, the defense thing, the spell, the range, the melee, the attributes, the health. Like, I don't know. It's kind of funny and amusing. We have all of this, really. I mean, I like it. It's just I think it's funny to me, like how much WoW is kind of gone for more of the minimalistic approach compared to the expansive approach right there. They attacked while you were gone. The captain fell fighting them. The rest retreated to the cave. You should do the same. Injured lookout. That guy is a G for letting us know that. That's rough though. Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, we've got one more thing, but I think I remember the orcs are like, or Nazgrim's like, we cannot retreat. We still have a bit of fight left in us or something. I think it's like we have to get reinforcements, but before we get reinforcements, we do the whole Battle Maiden thing. That's what I think what's happens. I think. I don't remember the in-between between that quest and this quest. But we're almost done for the day. I promised that we would not do a lot. Yeah, we're getting reinforcements. That's what we're doing. Will they do Beyond Mop Classic or not? I want them to do Beyond Mop Classic. I want them to do WoD Classic. I just don't know if they will. Alright, let's grab these quests. Yeah, so there is an in-between where we gotta do all this stuff, but we're very close to finishing things up at least, so hey. We gotta kill some gill goblins. I wonder if Mop is when we'll be able to solo Wrath raids. I think so. I know Mop you'll be able to finally do Burn Crusade raids soloable. I don't remember if Kata let you do that, but I remember Mop was. Horde survival kit, yoink. Nice. Alright, 4 more gill goblins. Super Sand Burrow. If they did it, it would have the new models. Oh yeah, they'd have to have the new models for WoD Classic. Which, hey, I'm down for. It's really when the graphics for WoW really kind of up their ante. I mean, I'm of the opinion that they should do Mop Classic with the Warlords Draenor models included. Alright, I think... Are the ropes... I think the ropes are a drop from these guys. Oh yeah. That's one rope down. 7 more to go. I actually kind of like Banneret with the spear. It's kind of nice looking. I mean, 2030 or 40s or 50s World Soul Saga Classic. Let's see. Let me do the math real quick. So we're currently... Alright, 2025 is gonna be the year of MOP. Right? So it takes them like what? Maybe like 1 or 2 years tops? Usually per expansion. I'm gonna say 2 for safety. So 2030. Let's see. Let me do my math real quick. Alright, so 2. That's 2027. That'll be WAD. 2029 would be Legion. So 2030 above would be BFA. So probably, let's see, 2030 something would be BFA. And then after that be Shadowlands. And then Dragonflight. So probably like 2040 or 2050, you could theoretically do a Dragonflight Classic and a God, that's crazy to me. I don't like that. That is an uncomfortable reality setting in. That could be possible. I don't like it and I don't want to think about it. But there's a possibility that 2040 you could have a classic WoW for Dragonflight and War Within. That's like 15 years from now. But it is theoretical and it is possible. I don't know if they should do it because that really just creeps in the door of how time has passed so quickly and dreadingly, honestly. Man, these ropes are just not dropping. Aren't they on the ground though, too? I could have sworn I remember them being on the ground. That's the halfway point, which is good. I'm gonna see if there's rope on the ground, because I remember there being rope on the ground for this quest. Ah! See, I knew there was rope on the ground in this quest line. Because I did this quest so many times before MOP came out and during Cata, WAD, and Legion. God, it's crazy to me. Like, I know people will disagree with me on this, and that's fine. I actually kind of agree with them on it too. I do somewhat miss, like, the player character or the person whenever you leveled having to do each expansion each time and leveling through it. Like, I don't know, there's some authenticity. I think that's the way you pronounce it. God, I don't know. There's just something really nice about it. And, like, was it the smart move to get rid of that and be like, hey, just do whatever expansion you want one time and that's probably enough? Yeah, I do agree. There is just something also nice about doing it again. It's nothing perfect, right? But, like, I like it. Oh, they're fighting each other. I've never seen that before. More ropes. Alright. Let's turn all these bad boys in. I think we're almost... I think we're almost done with this part of the zone. So, yeah, we get, like, Vajir done pretty, decently. Done each time. Alright. So, none of this is an upgrade, so we're gonna go with the gold. Alright, up we go. Fresh air, Grom's beard, I missed it. Right, fire the flare. Turn to Nazgrim's Legion's Rest. Is that... do we go to the ship? I think so? I could be wrong. I think we actually go to the... yeah, we go down here. I think what happens is we go down here and we talk to Nazgrim, and Nazgrim's like, good job, buddy. And then the Tauren lady's like, I want to see the fate of this battle maiden, and that's the end of the zone. If I remember correctly. It's been so long. Yes, I was right. Leather. Alright. Go for the plate. Then yeah, the lady will be like, go check on the scepter. Alright, I get a ring. Cool. Infiltrate the Quell Dormir temple and witness the concluding story of the Battle Maiden. Hell yeah. And that'll be the stream. And we are only probably like half an hour, a bit more than what I intended, but that's okay. I mean, I only wanted to stream, how long have we streamed for? 3 hours? That's not bad. I'm cool with that. I'm cool with ending the stream in like around like 4 hours of streaming. 4 hours of streaming is pretty decent, in my opinion. Assuming it's this? Might be the wrong one, I'm not sure. You already witnessed this vision? Okay. Then it must be at the tippity top. Eldomir Terrace entrance. I think it's by the cup then, yeah. Naga still here. Here we go. I would love to see the sequence where Anduin receives his armor and his coronation on Ironoth. I cannot confirm nor deny that will happen. There's a lot of things I can't tell you that are happening, Ryan B. So... right, cool. I need to gather some priestesses? Okay. Cool. Get out of here. We need to relieve guards, okay, so it's basically kill stuff. Hey, get out of here. God. Rude. Oh, there's the honor guard. Let me grab this guy. Honor guard over here. More honor guards over here. Okay, one more honor guard and we're good. Okay, let me go get the priestesses. Making good time as always. Nice, nice, nice. God, I love Vajir. Rip Submarine Quest. I think that's still a thing. Did they get rid of that? I could have sworn that's still a thing. Oh. Two more, and then we need to get the Fathom Caller. Nice, nice, nice. One more. Where is my priestess friend? There's one. You think they would swim a little bit faster, but oh well. And then the Fathom Caller. He's all the way over here, it looks like. It's crazy. And I gotta plug my webcam, not webcam, my headset back in. Here we go. Ah. Okay, cool. Ignore me. Ignore me, friends. I'm just getting my friend the Fathom Caller. There he is! Need you, buddy. Of course, I'll finish shortly and meet the Mistress at the Temple. Thank you, Battle Maiden. Yeah. I like how they updated these guys in Legion too, because these guys had like one of my favorite. It might have been Battle for Azeroth they were updated actually. Yeah, those guys had one of my favorite models too. Battle Maiden. Naga are just really cool to me. I love the Naga. Alright, we need to kill 20 Kobold here. Let's go. I love how OP she is. Stuck in a tornado. Still stuck in a tornado. Good golly. It's a meat grinder. Let's go. I don't even think these guys need my help. These guys are easy peasy. Alright, one more and we're good to go. Hell yeah.
Valdir are pouring across the bridge. Battle Maiden, Lady Nazjar calls for you.
You know it. I like how her name is just Battle Maiden. That's just her name. Hold the bridge, 4 minutes remaining. Alright, I'm on my way. One of these quests, my favorite. Hello, my friend. This is captivating. Hooray!
Move forward. Hold the bridge.
Yeah. Charger again. Go. Almost Kraken time. I guess in a way this does confirm that, like, Halia was not associated with the old gods. It seems. Oh, I killed the poor little pufferfish. I'm sorry. Ah, friend. I love the Naga in this questline. Aw, man. Yeah, faceless ones, let's go! I wonder what Terranzu thinks of the Wandering Isles, Pandaran. Probably likes them. He likes Jen. Yeah, get him, Azamat. Yeah. We did it! Hooray! Oh, we didn't get to hear her do her dialogue. Oh well. I've already heard it before, but it's a nice little dialogue moment. Alright, we'll turn this in and start the next quest for the next zone area, and then head over to Ogremar to see our trainer, and then also Transmog again. But yeah. Alright, new ring. Level 78. Yeah. Alright, we go above the surface to see Nazgrim and his new drip, which does not last for very long. He gets his new drip and then it's like, alright, I'm gonna probably not wear this for very long. I'm gonna go back to my Horcron armor, and I'm also going to go back to wearing red and black during Mists of Pandaria. I do like that Nazgrim is a constant character that you encounter beyond Cataclysm. Like, he's introduced in Cata, but like, not introduced in Cata, he's introduced in Wrath, and then he's continued in Cata, and then in Mr. Pandaria, he's like finalized, really. With Garrosh completely killed, with Garrosh completely killing Varian and Iroth, it means some of the Stormwind guards would recover his body, or does his body become impaled upon the spires of Ormar? I'd say the former. Yeah, no, Varian's body is currently very difficult to, yoink. I'm sure Garrosh on some level wouldn't really care if the Alliance took his body, but at the same time, at this point, it's up there. It's stuck up there. I don't think, the Alliance is getting Varian's body back to honor in any way. I'll do the Maelstrom, at some point. Sure. Alright, nice. Board the Vern once it arrives. Sure. Doesn't want my necklace, that's fine. Ah yeah, it's Vern time, let's go. I haven't done the submarine quest in forever. And I've not seen the inside of the submarine forever either, because it was always bugged. Alright. I was always fascinated by it, because like, this is like such a unique thing you don't really see often in WoW. Oh. Oh, that was a fun little glitch. Number 2. Captain Vern. And away we go. I always like the interior of this place. can't tell if we're moving, though. I think we are. This is getting darker. I can tell that, like, the lighting is at least different.
We're approaching the cavern, Captain.
Let's go!
Anchor in slowly, number 2. The reports were accurate, sir. The beast is here.
Nothing.
Steady, number 2. Fire! Fire! Blow it out of the water!
Remember there being more of an explosion when he said that, but alright.
The beast escaped, sir. By Gallywix's gut, it was fast.
Gallywix's gut.
Don't worry, number 2. We'll get another chance.
Captain Jules.
Stay strong, pal.
Alright, we accessed our next part
Careful out there.
of this place. Hell yeah. Level 82, dude. I don't think I need that stuff, but it's just nice to have, just in case. Alright. Let me head back to Ogremar then. Transmog and visit our trainer. But we will, we'll be wrapping up the stream then, because I don't want to, I really don't want to stream for very long anyways. Like I said, I didn't get much sleep. I, had to wake up early. And I even went to bed early around, 11 last night. To, wake up around 7, or rather 6 around this morning to get my cat to the vet. But, you know, that matters very little, really. Because, you know, I didn't get much sleep. So. I love the loading screens in Cataclysm. Alright. Hi, Gammon. Alright, let's go visit our hunter trainer. I think VR World of Warcraft is a thing. I believe so. There's our hunter trainer. All pet 5. Alright. Expecting that to be a little bit something else, but hey. It means we can get 5 pets on Bannerek. Oh, wrong pet mount. I will probably tame something besides Skull at some point. I just don't know what just yet. I'll figure that out. Okay, let's transmog. See how expensive it is first, because if it's like expensive every time to do this. Alright, 59 gold. That's not that bad, honestly. Apparently you can't really, I don't want to transmog that, though. Kinda wanna... I like the weapon. The weapon's fine. Alright, and let me put the tabard back in, and I'll probably, what I'll do is I will, let's see. For starters, let's me go to options, interface, let me show helm. I'm gonna put some stuff on the auction house, and then I'm gonna end the stream. But thank you guys for watching with me. Watching me play, I guess. Play Kata. I've been actually kind of enjoying it. I mean, again, I've already done it before, but it is a fun experience to do again. This War Within patch is wild. It really is, isn't it?
Yeah, what do you want?
I wasn't expecting them to, you know, do some plots that I swear they've done before, but you know. Ooh, 244 gold, that would be nice. 55. 60. Let's do 45. That's all of them. Okay, and then let's do this. All right. Let me... I'm gonna log out here, and then next week we will continue Vajir. We'll probably finish it, actually, on Tuesday. And, we'll see where we go from there. But I am actually enjoying myself in playing, Cataclysm so far. It's hard to believe that WoW Xbox is the step-grandchild. I have no idea what that means, but, okay. Cool. I'm gonna go ahead and, I'm gonna end the stream. So thank you guys for tuning in, and, I'll see you guys on Tuesday of next week, probably. Unless something happens. Alright. Bye, ya!